Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's time for Brave in Action. I cannot wait to connect with you all today, see how everybody's doing. How's the week going? Where are you in the world? What is the weather like here in Chicago? It's spring. It's been almost 70 the last couple of days, which is game changing for me. I wore my flip-flops for the first time of the year yesterday, and that is like a whole perspective shift that I totally love. I'm totally into. So I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes to get in here. If you're new to the crowd, if you're checking us out for the first time, I'm Heather Vickery. I'm a success and leadership coach and the founder of this group, the Brave on Purpose Collective and the Intentionally Brave Entrepreneurs Program. I'm also the executive producer and host of the Brave Files podcast. As you can tell, everything I do is brave. It's about brave. Brave is my business. It didn't always start like that, though. I have this really interesting origin story about how I let fear rule my life for a really long time. And then that one moment, that one impactful, powerful moment that opened it all up for me. If you're curious to hear more about that story, then make sure that you register for the Brave Method Workshop, which starts next Tuesday, March 16th. I will tell that whole story. I'll talk about making my brave leap and how I would like to help you make yours. I will put the registration link here below, but it's vickeryandco.com/workshop. All you have to do is register. It's totally free. It's going to be amazing. So I hope we get a chance to see you there. All right, folks, I'm so excited to be sharing some time with you on this Wednesday, like I do every single Wednesday. Although next Wednesday, we don't have a Brave in Action because it will be day 2 of the Brave Method Workshop. So again, make sure you're registered, vickeryandco.com, to attend the Brave Method Workshop. And that will be there instead of doing this Brave in Action, because I'm going to be giving lots of content, breaking down my Brave Method and helping you make the brave leap in your own life. But today we're talking about, are you taking yourself and your business seriously or not? And so here's the question that I really have for you. Do you believe in your work, your business, your side hustle, your passion project? Like, do you really believe in it? Do you passionately and wholeheartedly believe in it? Does it get you excited? Do you know that it will make an impact on the world at large? It will change other people's lives. It could bring people together. It could cure things. It could heal things. It can connect, and it feels good. You really believe in it, and yet you're maybe not doing it, or you're kind of doing it, a little bit doing it, sometimes doing it, talking your way out of it. I want to know what is possible for you, for your business, for your passion project, for your side hustle, whatever it is, if you stopped standing in your own way. So there are a number of reasons that we stand in our own way. If you are familiar with Gay Hendricks' book, wow, does that ever happen to you? How fascinating. You completely forget. It's called The Big Leap. You completely forget what you're going to say. I do this. How fascinating. And then I'm like, oh, I screwed up. That's okay. I can learn from it. And also it's just honest and authentic. And then it makes me laugh. And I don't take myself too seriously. That's all good. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Gay Hendricks worked the brave leap, or the big leap, the brave leap. I have brave on the brain. He talks about an upper limit problem. Sometimes we stand in our way because of outside factors, because of things around us, because of family members, loved ones. I use loved in parentheses because if they're standing in your way, how much true love is there? But some folks we get to pick, and some folks we don't get to pick, right? Are you standing in your own way because of the excuses and the limiting voices? I wonder for you, is part of why you aren't there, or you haven't gotten there, or you can't quite picture what there is, or you don't even really know what you want your life, your business, your passion to look like or feel like? Is that because you're listening to those voices inside your head that are shutting you down? And if you go, what voices inside my head? That's the voice. That's the voice we're talking about right now, right? That voice that says, what's she talking about? That's the one. Or is it how you're spending your time? There's something really, really powerful about how do we spend our time. And one of the first things I do when I work one-on-one with clients, especially my executive clients that work for corporations and other companies, is we talk about chronicling how they're spending their time. Nobody wants to do this, right? It feels really tedious, but we learn a lot about ourselves when we start to realize how we're spending our time. Do you roll over in bed and you immediately start checking your email and you go down the rabbit hole there? Do you rearrange everything to put out fires constantly? Do you work with a schedule? Do you stop and doom scroll through social media when you could be, should be, would be doing something else that can move you further? How are you spending your time? Learning to be aware of how you're spending your time, and then consciously and intentionally changing those patterns, habits, and routines can make a wildly impactful difference. The cool thing about awareness is that once we start to become aware of what we want more of, what we want less of, who we want to be, how we want to feel, what we want to celebrate, what kind of pleasure and joy we bring into our lives, what makes us feel bad. When we start to become aware of all of those things, then all of a sudden, we begin to change them even before we really know we're doing that. Why is that so? Well, because our minds go, well, I don't like the way that feels. Or, ooh, I like the way that feels. I want more of it, right? So you can start to lean into that. And then you can create intentional schedules and timing. You can have intentional conversations, be in more thoughtful networking groups, connecting with people, building community, asking for accountability and support, delegating. You could do all of those things because you're far more clear about what you're actually looking for, what you're working towards, what you want to build. So I mentioned the Brave Method workshop earlier. We're going to talk a lot about all of these things during the course of the 9 days that we have together. The first 5 days, I'm breaking down the Brave Method itself. So we'll talk, day 1 is boundaries, and then it's the 3 R's, reassessment, reframing, resilience. And it's action and accountability, which includes delegation, team building, all of that fun stuff. And then vulnerability. And the last one is expand and empower. You can't get to expand and empower if you haven't done the first 4 steps of the Brave Method. And I want to know, are you serious? Are you serious about yourself? Are you serious about your business? Are you serious about your life, your side hustle, your passion, the gifts that you bring into the world, and expanding those, transforming into who and what you actually were intended for? If you're serious about all of those things, then it's time to consider making the brave leap. And that's going to look different for a lot of people. When you don't know what to do, you do what you know. And in some cases, that's great. You lean back on things that feel safe and feel comfortable. And in many cases, it might be an indicator that it's time to learn something new. It's time to try something new, approach in a new way, connect, communicate, ask for support, build community, be accountable, have boundaries, right? Be your most wonderfully, beautifully authentic self in every possible way, right? Showing your vulnerability, the V in the Brave Method. If you're ready to do something different, see, then we've got you here. Then that's an indication that you're taking yourself, your business, your passion, your side hustle seriously. If you're not, that's okay. Maybe you're not ready yet. Maybe you're not ready yet. If you like staying simple, if you like being low, you don't want to push yourself, you don't want to get uncomfortable, that's all right. There's room for all of that. There's ebbs and flows in our lives. But if you don't want to be in that space, if you don't want to feel stuck, if you don't want to feel small, if you don't want to feel alone, then it's time to take this shit seriously, right? That's why we want you to come and hang out with us. Remember that sometimes you have to lose your present circumstance to make room for what's on the horizon. But that doesn't just happen. It's not just magic. It would be nice if we could just think that and it would happen, or we don't even know that we need to think it and it just changes, right? It takes thoughtful intention. It takes commitment and accountability and dedication to let go of the things that no longer serve you and usher in, make room for new things, better things, bigger things, more wonderful things. Certainly there's going to be plenty of stuff that you love and you want to keep and you want to take it with you. And there's probably, if you're really honest with yourself, plenty that you want to get rid of. COVID taught us that in a really big way. It was has been a terrible shock. The pandemic, being locked down, has been a terrible shock to the system. We've lost so much, and yet there are things that we have not lost. There are things that we do not miss. There are things that we are doing better and more thoughtfully now that feel good. I've seen countless people get inventive and creative and serious about doing something that they feel good about, that they love, that they want to lean into, that brings them joy, right? Because everything else was yanked away. Maybe because they had to, but partly because it had been bubbling under the surface for a really long time. And they finally decided, I'm going to take this seriously. How fascinating, right? Oh my goodness. Owning our failures, doing things like this. How fascinating. It makes you giggle. It makes you not take yourself so seriously, which is really nice. I had this conversation with Rebecca, who's a member here in Brave on Purpose and a member of my Intentionally Brave Entrepreneurs program. I've been doing how fascinating anytime I personally screw up, make a mistake, forget something, whatever, or when any of our IBE folks do it, we always, how fascinating. And so they're learning to bring this into their everyday routine on a consistent basis. And Rebecca said to me just yesterday, I've been doing it a lot and it makes me giggle and I don't take myself too seriously and I rebound faster. What? That's the 3 R's. All of a sudden we're reassessing. We're reframing it. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe I just shouldn't take myself so seriously. It's not a big deal. And then you get resilient and you bounce back and you start over and you try it again in a new way. So while we want you to take your business, your passion, your side hustle, we want to take it seriously enough to take action. I want you to take it seriously with grace. I want you to take it seriously with compassion, self-compassion, and love. I want you to take it seriously in a way that your failures, your mistakes, the things that you screw up on your way don't get in the way. They don't block you. They give you information. Knowledge is power. Facts are just facts. And when we can start to bring information in as just facts and look at it and then decide, what do we want to do with this knowledge? What are these facts telling us, right? Then we can make really intentional plans for ourselves. We can build roadmaps. We can build dreams. We can make that brave leap, right? It's so incredible. It is time. It is time to expand. I feel it. I feel it for myself. I've been on the precipice of some sort of heart-opening expansion for the last several weeks, which is exciting because I will admit, just like everyone else, that for quite some time, the last few months, I have not felt my most creative and invigorating and expansive self. I've been tired. Raise your hand if you've been tired. Hit up the comments. Let me know if you're tired and you're worn out. But I can see a glimmer and it feels exciting. And I think part of that for me is I am excited to help you all expand. I'm excited to help you finally begin. You get to begin today. You get to start. And you can start by registering for the Brave Method workshop. It's so easy. It's going to be so much fun. I guarantee you're going to make some friends. You're going to connect. You're going to grow. You're going to learn so much about yourself. All you have to do is visit vickeryandco.com/workshop to get registered. It's going to be amazing. So I'd love to know, what are your how fascinating moments? What are you celebrating? What are you ready for? What ways are you ready to expand? And let's do this. All right. I will see you all hopefully next week, starting Tuesday, March 16th at the Brave Method workshop. And I'll be back for Brave in Action in a couple of weeks. And I'll see you all then. Take care, friends. Bye.